Today I'm talking to Marsel Maza, the host of the Unshyness podcast. When I signed up for his class, I had no idea just how much things were about to shift for me. Marcel was originally teaching Unshyness back in Russia, but he saw a need for it in New York and started bringing his work here. I can say without a doubt that he has put me down a road I've been searching for my whole life. A big part of our conversation today is about letting go. Now, letting go is a practice that completely changed the way I deal with fear, resistance, and motivation. Now, this includes the letting go technique from David Hawkins, the Sedona Method by Lester Levinson, and the releasing work I've learned from Brian Bajan. At their core, these approaches are all about learning how to stop suppressing emotions and instead fully feeling them in order to release them. When you do this, fear, hesitation, and self-doubt lose their grip on you. It's something that's had a massive impact on my life, and we get into all of it in this conversation.
I am excited about asking you all these questions because that time when I made it up to interview you, we were sitting in a cafe. It was exceptional place. You chose those places to meet up that day. It was the coffee shop in the fashionable area, yeah, like where it's a coffee shop where you have cups from marble. Okay, it's not even cups, it's a kind of bowls.
Yes.
We met last year with Samuel. Tell me about your personality 10-12 years ago.
I've told a lot of people face to face, but never like to a bigger audience. And just thinking about it and how much has changed in the past year, there's a lot of grief that comes up. A lot because of thinking how many years that I spent feeling shy, really missing out on a lot of life, a lot of opportunities, a lot of relationships. Growing up, I had a lot of friends. I had my family. Grew up with both of my parents. Had girlfriends. I did well in school. I played sports. But there was always a part of me that felt like I didn't quite fit in somewhere. I was actually looking through some notebooks recently, and they had goals that I had, and I think I found something from I was like 18 years old, and I wanted to learn how to fight. I figured that out. I wanted to write a screenplay. I figured that out. And another thing that was there was learn how to talk to people. Even at a young age, I felt like there was something missing. I felt like there was something holding me back from doing what I wanted to do. And I think what happens with shy people is that it's a self-reinforcing cycle where you don't try something because you think something bad's going to happen, and then you avoid it, so you become bad at it, and then you just slowly withdraw from life. You slowly come inside, you slowly stop going to parties, you slowly stop talking to strangers. I think when you're a kid, sometimes you can be more open, and as just life experience, you just become more and more solitary. I think that's what happened to me.
Because it kind of doesn't make sense. Why do I need to do it? I'm going to fail anyway. I would rather sit and kind of restrict myself. So self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, and then the stories get reinforced, and you say, I don't like people. I'm better off by myself.
Rationalization, yeah?
Yeah, or I don't have that skill. I don't have that thing that other people have.
I miss something. I lack something, yeah?
Yeah, and then it just becomes normal, and you kind of just accept what life gave you.
Shit life that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. And
alcohol and other stuff can help you with
sure, yeah.
accepting
I actually didn't.
your shit life.
I didn't start drinking until I turned 21. Actually,
Okay.
The legal drinking age. I was very afraid of it because I thought my dad would find out. But as soon as I started getting drunk for the first time, I was like, oh man, this is magical stuff.
Solution.
Man. All the shyness I experienced, that goes out the door, man. And I was able to feel confident, feel myself,
not care what people thought, be loud, be whatever. I remember when I was in college for 3 years and I had all these friends, and then the summer I went away and then came back and I was drinking. Everyone was like, wow, man, this guy's a lot of fun. He's fucking, look how much fun he is. We didn't know he was so cool. I was like, fuck yeah, let's get fucked up. But
I know what you're talking about.
I think in the past few months, what I've seen is that these skills you're not born with it. You're born with a certain capacity, but it's not like your eye color. You can't change that about you, but you can change how you feel inside, how you feel when you talk to other people, how you feel about yourself. All that you can work on a little bit each day.
Yeah.
And just like working out, it's a muscle.
What do you think? Sometimes when I observed your changes during the course, you changed so much, and I know that I don't know, guys, how to express it, but the person who came who signed up for the course and who completed the course. Okay, let's compare the very first day of the first course and the very last day of the second course. Man,
Yeah.
it's two different persons. And I told you, like, I know that this is not the only unshyness. This is also your work on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the changes that I was a witness of, for me, I was sitting alone sometimes, and I was like, how is it possible? How is it possible? Like, really. And this is the only one case by now because I remember it was difficult. You told me that you never did any code approach to a girl before your unshyness class, before the first one. Never. And what were you doing already at the end of the second course? Like, man, tell me please, what is the secret? How you did it? Even your way of communicating with me, because now we kind of just friends. Your communication changed, your mindset changed, your way of how you think about yourself changed, the way how you... What the hell happened?
Well, where can we start? I don't know. I think you have to understand the change that happened. I think I have to say that every problem that I've ever had could always be solved logically. It was if as long as I worked hard enough and I was well informed enough, then I could make progress towards this goal.
It's like self-discipline, pushing.
Yeah, a lot of that. But
like David Goggins.
David Goggins. Oh man, I remember when I read David Goggins' first book. I was like, I clearly recall saying to one of my best friends, I said, "Dude, we are such fucking pussies. This guy, you know what he's doing? We got to be doing that." So every problem I ever had is, as long as I worked hard enough and I used logic, I could figure it out. And I think what's changed is that now I see all of my life's problems as being emotional. Now I understand that anything that I want or anything that I haven't got yet is because of how I relate to myself emotionally and how I understand myself emotionally. I'd never thought about that before. I'd never allowed myself to be afraid of things, to be sad about things, to be angry about things. Those are three very scary things for me. This whole process of learning how to talk to people, it brings up a lot of things. It's through that process that I was faced with that reality. That if I wanted to improve on these things, it wasn't going to be with a script. When we were working together, you never gave me like lines to say to people. In fact, I was so frustrated with you in the beginning because of that. Because I would start and I would be like, well, what the fuck do I say to these people? I can't just go and do it. I can't just, like, how do I say it? I was very concerned about the logic of it. Like,
give me instruction.
It makes no sense, right? You know, people can't get good at talking to people by a formula, by a script. You have to really like look inside and feel uncomfortable shit. Yeah.
If we are talking about communication with other people, you came across to the thing that it doesn't work when you're trying to behave in the way of, I have this goal, I need to get it, like pushing yourself. It doesn't work, yeah?
I think it can work for you up to a point. Maybe like 5 years ago, someone asked me, what's your greatest strength? And I had a very hard time answering that question. The only thing I could come up with was, I'm a hard worker. I felt like all I had to my name was grinding. Working harder than everyone else. I see that there's so much value in that. But to say that's the only way that you can get anything in this life, it's
just live your life.
It sets you up for a life of constant dissatisfaction. Even when I was able to achieve things that I got, the feeling of fulfillment it didn't last very long. It was like, oh, okay, there it is, and let's take this energy and put it to something else. So, in terms of talking to people, I think you can come with the mindset of, okay, I have a goal. It's going to take me consistent action to reach that goal. There's no way around that. It's not just going to fall into your lap by just thinking about it, right? But what I've learned and what we talked about in the coffee shop that day was wanting something, desiring a certain goal is great. It's the universe telling you, it's giving you a sign this is something that actually means something to you. But staying and wanting and desire and like just kind of like, you see my mouth right now, I'm like, fucking give it to me. That's a hard way to live your whole life. Because nothing ever that you drink or you eat is ever going to taste good. When I would be wanting something so bad and working really hard for it, when I was on that wavelength, everyone felt that. And if you've ever been around someone who's wants something very bad, you don't want to give it to them. Like if you have it, you don't want to give it to them.
How it works? It's really true.
It's like a pushing. When we first went out into Times Square and was like asking people's questions or whatever, I was so frustrated because people would walk right by me and I would like, hey sir, please stop. Can I ask you something? And you said to me, Sam, you sound like you're trying to sell a refrigerator. You're a refrigerator salesman. I didn't know what that meant, but now I understand it. It's like this bulldozer and you're just running people over with it, you know? And when you do that, I want to run away, you know? There's so much.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
I'm filming people on the streets, asking them questions, and I filmed one guy, and he instantly, because I get their contact to make a collaboration with them on IG, and he texted me right away, like that day, like, when are you going to post this video?
Exactly.
When are you going to post this video? And
exactly.
I was like, hey man, and I felt kind of, wow, it's great that some people asking me, like, it shows me the value of what I'm doing, okay, and he's a musician or something, and I'm okay, and I even said, okay, I'm going to do it on Friday, but before Friday he asked once again, before Friday, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it on Friday. On Friday he asked me again. And I was like, and I don't know why, but I didn't edit this video on Friday, and it's already 3 weeks that he's asking me again and again.
Yeah.
And I wanna edit this video, but I don't know. it's kind of the universe makes me not to do it. And this is what you are talking about. Like, it's pushing. Like, he's pushing me, and I don't want to do it.
If you want to pet a cat, you don't run right at it. So it's just going to...
Yeah.
You know they're going to catch it. But I'll use an example from my own life because this is what's been going on in the past since I graduated university. It's been my goal, my life's mission since I was 10 years old, that I want to be a Hollywood director.
Okay.
I made movies all through high school. I went to the best film school in the country, and I have not made a movie yet. I'm 33.
Why?
Well, I was not okay with myself if that didn't happen. I could not appreciate life. I could not give myself validation. I couldn't love myself unless I had that thing. And you apply that for everything. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people show up in your class and say, I want to be good at this. I want to be good. I want to be better with people. I have to do it. And you ask them why. Like, well, it's just because I have to. Why? And they'll never tell you, when I check this off, my life will be complete. But that's what they think. And it's not true. In the past 2 or 3 months, I've allowed myself to just...
Sorry.
In the past 2 or 3 months, I made 4 goals for myself. And I write them down every day. And I do a little bit to make a step towards them. But I have never felt as optimistic, grateful, and excited about the future as I do right now, because every day I'm actually enjoying doing it. I'm thinking about all the things I actually do have and all the great things that are happening, small things that are happening. Us doing this is fucking cool, man. The difference is before I was like, it was just miserable. The whole process of writing the goal and reminding myself I don't have this and you're a piece of shit because you don't have it, it makes you not want to work towards it. It just becomes a fucking grind, and eventually after years you're like, I don't fuck this, man. I don't want to do this anymore. Up until 6 months ago, that's how I felt about filmmaking, man. The thing I wanted to do since I was 10, I said, fuck this shit, man. It's not going to happen for me. It's not going to happen for me because I've been doing it for so long and I'm making no fucking progress.
And you pushed hard.
I pushed so hard, man. And every time I hated even talking about it because everyone would say, hey, how's that thing going? I'm like,
you don't even know how I push hard.
No, it wouldn't even be angry, man. It was apathy. It was heaviness. It was just like, yeah, things are just hard right now. Whatever. Like, it's just, I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's hard. I'm at this point in I would talk like that. And could you imagine if you're a producer or someone that had what I wanted, what did you give it to that person? Fuck no, dude. But every day we go out and like, that's how we talk to ourselves and to other people. And we wonder why don't I have it yet?
The really mind-blowing thing for me was that your personality were unfolding during your 2 courses that you were on Unshyness. And even on the first course, because we were communicating every day, you were doing your homework and you were reporting every day. And I started to notice that your mindset and all the stuff that you are talking right now, like that you are right. And that I felt that it would be great to question my own stuff as well. What I did, actually, and I told you that the fact that you were my client, you affected my personality. Your changes affected my personality, and it affected the project and the way I'm doing the project. And when you made the photo shoot for me, it was for my second project, and my second project was about pushing. It was like self-discipline, accountability, coach, Marsel Maza.
I remember on your Instagram.
I quit
said
this
that.
idea. I already done the website for this,
Mm-hmm.
but in a few months I just my mindset really shifted, and you helped me to do it, and it's a story.
Yeah, man. It's so cool, like that people can learn from each other like this. I think it's
Yeah.
very special because I don't know other people. Like I've friends that I've had for years, but I could maybe point to like one or two that I actually learned from, and they push me and I push them. You know, I think that's really cool. I would like to just tell the story. I don't know if you use it or I use it or
Yeah.
whatever, but
Yeah, let's go.
when I was going through a really hard time last year. This time, actually, 1 year ago, I was going to therapy. I was seeing a psychiatrist, psychologist, on medication.
Medication? I didn't know about it.
And that process was beginning. And I had a real hard time being at home. I didn't want to be at home because being at home made me feel a certain way. In all of New York, they're famous for putting up scaffolding. This scaffolding,
Okay.
I guess, it's some law that they have where they can't do any work on a building because some bricks fall down and kill people. So they protect people, but they also make, one, great workout equipment, and two, great places to put signs.
Yeah.
So I was walking through Union Square, saw some scaffolding, and saw, like, the sign's wasn't big, and it said, "Shyness is stealing from your life." I still to this day think that's your best sign. You have a lot all around the city, but I think that's the best one. Because to me, what it like the chord it struck in me was, there's been something wrong. There's been something missing, and that thing has been holding you back. I went to the website. You looked legit. I said, I'm doing this, man. I'm fucking doing this. And there was really no turning back, man.
You didn't go for the demo class. You went for the class right away.
I went for the class right away, and I think we're just so used to hearing things like, this changed my life, this saved my life, blah, blah, blah.
Man, it changed your life.
Maybe they're exaggerating, maybe they're not, but I don't like using that term loosely. I don't like just saying that for everything because it loses its value. But you put me down a road that I think I've been wanting to find for a very long time. And I just wasn't ready for it. Yeah. So thank you.
Can I say something? That's the listeners that are listening to us. I want to explain that pushing is not bad, and if you're really pissed off about something in your life and you want to change it, it doesn't mean that's what we are talking about. You don't need to push. You need to use your anger. You need to use your motivation, and you need to push to do something to get some first changes. But what we are talking about, and I'm talking from my experience, when you really got stuck somewhere and you just don't know why it doesn't work, you do so much, you plan, you make efforts, everything seems, you do everything that's possible to do, and you pushing so hard, but it's so elusive. It's so like you feel the more you do, the further it gets. Maybe it can help you, this idea that Samuel is telling about. It's about letting go your attachment to the result. How to express it in a nutshell, like in one sentence? Can you help me?
The letting go technique, or what exactly?
Not even technique, the principle of this. Because I used to be the same 1 year ago. Okay, if I have a goal, I need to push. David Goggin stuff, and how to express this concept.
Well, I
concisely.
think thanks for saying that. It's not bad to want things, and not bad to work hard for them, and not bad to use all your energy towards those things. I mean, that's how a lot of people get things done, and you can get things done you can get things done while you do that. It's just more about how you feel in that process. the best athletes in the world, a lot of them are people that have a lot of anger, a lot of pride, who everything is like a fight, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of things happened where things lined up and they were able to succeed. But if you hear about those people, no one really likes to be around them, you know? And a lot of times you find out that these people are miserable and they're doing all kinds of things to push that down. Drugs, alcohol, you know, sex. Why do you think you've heard about so many famous people that are, you know, doing all of these things, killing themselves? Like, why are so many famous people like committing suicide? Why do you think that happens? I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but I'm just giving an example of like
Napoleon said once that he was happy only a few days in his whole life.
Napoleon said that?
Napoleon.
There you go. I mean, maybe you don't want to be happy. Maybe you're like, fuck being happy. I don't care. Then, you know, great. You don't really have to listen to this, but like, I really believe if you were watching something like this, you're looking for something different. That's it.
So, and your changes in your mindset came after Unshyness and after other information or your work on yourself recently. So, and how do you see your future now? Like you told us how you were seeing your life before.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be a Hollywood director.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How is it now? What about your future? How your mindset changes affect your envision of your future?
Yeah. I'll just say the last part about if I could just see a video of the past 15 years, I would really like to see when the universe presented opportunities to me that I rejected.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are so many times where there were opportunities that came up, and because I was so in wanting and so determined and focused and hard worker and being everything that
It's
they told
bullshit.
me,
It's bullshit.
everything that they told me I needed to be to get what I wanted, focused, that I had blinders on. And I think it's good, and I think I passed a lot of things up. And now in this new way of thinking, I see so much more, man. It's like almost like the blinders are off and things just kind of fall into my lap. Like an example is this right now. Us talking. I told you I wanted to take the skills that you've taught me and help other people with this kind of stuff. Every day that goes by, I think, this is what I've wanted to do since forever, man. This kind of shit, working with people, helping them with a problem and seeing them grow, that's what's I get so excited about and really makes me happy. And as I allowed for that to happen, just things start coming up in my life where it's like what I wanted. It's like I allowed it and then it just came to me.
It's me pushing you. Like, how did you record your first podcast? Yeah, you just recorded this.
No,
like,
exactly. I didn't even book it.
Yeah. Wasn't any pushing.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think when you are so laser focused, just when you say I can't be happy until this happens, everything kind of just bounces off of you, you know? And you don't see like there's a person trying to help you right here. If I would have been still like that, I would be like, actually, Marcel, I'm so focused, I don't have the time for this right now, because, you know, I'm doing this other thing, you know. And I don't know, it's like little things. Like I met Aman at your class, and him and I got along so well. I was like, hey, bro, you're gonna go out and do your homework. I'm gonna go out and do my homework. Let's do homework together. It's fucking awesome. I didn't know there was gonna be like a cool California guy in your class, you know? It just happened. So there's a lot of things like that I see now that I didn't see before.
I'm personally interested in asking this. I'm trying to understand it for myself about this stuff with bouncing. Like when you say, I cannot be complete if I don't get it. And I really feel that in some areas of my life, this is what stops me from being happy. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and I see that I like this explanation that you did about that you are blinded. I want so hard to understand, but even this wanting to understand it so hard, it makes me further from that stuff, and I just feel it with my heart.
It sounds like you're saying, I want to understand so much that I'm pushing the understanding away.
Yeah, pushing the understanding.
Right. Yeah. You have frustration, right? Brian says frustration is a combination of wanting and anger.
Okay.
So you want something and
exactly.
you're not getting it.
I am
and it makes you
angry and
angry.
I'm frustrated.
It's a little bit of anger. It's not like, fuck that shit. But maybe you'll get there. I don't know.
You mentioned about that stuff when you say, when it's on your mind that I cannot be complete if I don't get it. And you made an example that you are blinded and the possibilities that around you, they're kind of bouncing out of you only because you have this wanting. I just see you got it more than me. And I'm kind of, oh, Jesus, Samuel knows something. And I didn't get it yet. That is why we are here. Tell me.
And if you got that, if I gave it to you
yes.
in a pill and said, here, understanding.
Okay,
right
yeah.
And you took it, don't you think you'd find something else to be frustrated about?
For sure. This is the way I do things.
Yeah. So can you let go of the frustration? Can you let go of the wanting to understand?
No, I can't. I will do it.
Just you can be honest. You can say never.
I kind of have a hope that I will do it later.
What's the hope feel like?
The hope that I will get this thing and I will be complete. Jesus. It's on the core of my, it's my operation system of my mind. Yeah. It's not a program. It's like the foundation.
But right now you just laughed.
Yeah.
Why did you laugh so hard?
I know this is bullshit.
Yeah, but like, right, when you say it out loud, it sounds ridiculous, right?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. A lot of times, just admitting things like that is so helpful. So helpful, man. I mean, like I've been doing things like I've been doing a lot of audio recorded.
Do you
lately.
mean that my laughing now can be itself the releasing?
Oh, that.
Yeah, and I feel it.
Totally.
I feel it right now.
A little lighter. Yeah.
I feel lighter right now.
You feel like you let it go, and it's kind of just floating around in the room, and you're like, okay, if it comes down, okay, but if not a big deal.
You are the person who introduced me with all this releasing, letting go stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned some books. I read every one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you introduced me to Brian with his project Fearless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, it was really the point before and after in my life. We all have these points. Yeah. People who are listening this right now, they kind of, what are they talking about? Because when I started listening,
fucking hippies,
watching these videos, like, oh, you need to feel. What do you feel?
Yeah.
You need to feel this, to feel that. You need to release.
Yeah.
And I was like, my conscious mind was telling me, fuck you. What? You don't need to spend much on this, to spend your time on this bullshit. Go and do serious things. But my heart, I remember my heart at the time, like I felt, okay, maybe this is the exact thing that can help me to solve my stuckness. in life. And I know that's the direction that I've chosen, the right one.
Good, man. Good. That's great. I sense you're getting a little sad. Sad but happy. A little sad.
No, I'm enjoying what we're doing.
Good, man.
And when you mentioned that you want to do this stuff, and I'm going to ask you about it more in detail, that you want to help other people to understand this stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying my project, doing my project every second. I'm having fun. And people paying me money for this, like why are you paying me money? I'm just having fun, guys. And when you are having fun, and this is the thing that I always mention on my classes, guys, especially if we are talking about communicating with other people, if you are going to be serious, rigid, goals, self-discipline, man, what I found out, it doesn't work when you're pushing.
It's almost like you're in an adversarial relationship with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it becomes like you, Marcel, versus something else inside there. It instead of like a partnership where you and whatever voice you have inside of you working together, you're fighting. Why do people find it so hard to go to the fucking gym? When you're thinking about going to the gym, you say, okay, I want to go to the gym. And you let yourself feel that want for a second. And what most people do is it becomes, I immediately am afraid of the pain that it's going to take me to get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, or to go out there in the rain, or whatever the obstacles. And then once I think about that, I'm like, well, that, going out in the rain and at 5 o'clock in the morning, that fucking sucks. I'm not going to go. And then I start feeling sad because I said for years that I'm going to do this. I'm going to go. I've been saying for years that I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm still a fat piece of shit.
Life sucks.
And then I go from there to, man, fuck this. I'm just going to stay in bed. I'm going to go back to sleep. Maybe going to the gym wasn't even like what I really wanted. That's the process. That's why people don't do things. It's because when they say they wanted something, that voice slowly starts beating them down to it.
What would be the natural approach to
the
this?
Opposite of that, and what we've been talking about is, okay, I want to get better with talking to girls. I want to go to the gym. I want to make money. You can want all those things. They're great things. The approach now is, okay, I want them. Maybe people said I couldn't have them, and fuck those people, and I'm getting angry, and it's like giving me energy in my body. And then I start feeling prideful, like, I'm better than all those people, and I'm slowly like getting higher on the emotional scale. And then eventually you just let all that shit go, and you say, whether I go to the gym or not, or whether I'm good at talking to girls, or whether I'm making money, I feel good no matter what. It doesn't matter if I don't get this today or I never get it, because I still love myself. I still feel good. I still feel courage, and I still feel like I can feel acceptance for myself, for that want, all that shit. That energy is so much lighter. People want to be around that kind of energy. People want that in their life so bad. And when they're around it, it's like, please tell me what the fuck is it? And they'll tell you, well, I don't know. It just is what it is. Like, but you didn't like, you didn't beat yourself up the whole time to get those things. You just happened. It's like, yeah, either way, it's fine.
I always forget about it.
Yeah.
Why is it so elusive? Like,
we're just not used to thinking that way, man.
What helped you to get to this understanding?
I really wanted to get good with girls. My goal was, I want to be able to go in any situation, night or day, be able to talk to a girl, get her phone number, take her out on a date, have a relationship with any girl I want. That was my want. what I ended up doing was I was reading all these books. I was watching endless amount of videos, taking classes so I can get good at it. I was working at it every single day. And I was going and I was going and I was going. My situation, I think, was a little different because I reached that goal. I reached where I wanted to be fairly quickly. Within 3 months, I was going out every single night with different people. I was having girls over, calling them by different names, mixing up the stories, that one was the other one, and this one was born on this day, that kind of shit. So I got what I wanted, and it wasn't enough. And I still was doing it. And I got to the point where I was like, why? I have like 7 of these girls, and they all like me. I don't like any of them. What am I doing? So I started dumping them. I started calling them up. I'd meet up with them. I said, look, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I'm going a little crazy. I didn't tell them why. But I just said, I gotta be by myself right now. The day after I did that, one of the girls, she came over and she dumped me. She came over and said, I don't know what we're doing. Like, let's not do this anymore. For the next week, I was so upset over it. And I didn't even like this girl.
You were upset that you were dumped.
It made me question, what are you trying to get from these people? What are you looking for so badly? Because none of them are giving it to you. And that's when everything just clicked into place for me. That was not going to make me feel good. I was the only one who could make me feel good. You hear that shit all the time, and I swear to God, I've thought it was bullshit since the moment I heard it.
For years.
Everyone says that. You gotta be happy with yourself. If you can't make yourself
Just be
happy,
yourself.
then no one's gonna make you happy. Everyone knows that shit. Logically, to internalize it is a whole different experience. Ever since that happened, I've been giving myself the feelings and the validation that I thought other people could give me. That's why now when I walk down the street, I'm okay with if someone, isn't responsive to being talked to or, rejects me.
Let's compare.
Or blows me off.
For example, 6 months ago, what you felt being rejected at the time?
When I would get rejected,
yeah,
there'd be a lot of shame.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shame.
Now you don't experience it?
A lot of frustration. Not to the same degree, not at all. Just because it's like I don't need anything from anyone anymore. When you're in when you want to learn how to talk to people and the desire is so bad, people feel that. They think you're trying to sell them something, or it's just like a weird energy that you're communicating with your body language. It's like it's kind of like this. You'll see the other person do this. But when you feel good and you just want to share that good feeling, so now I can just enjoy going to the coffee shop with you and enjoying simple things like the fucking plates, the fancy bowls, how nice it is outside or how shitty it is outside. When those little simple things make you happy, then man, you don't need shit.
I want to live my life like this.
Yeah, me too.
It's kind of you are not constantly every second like a prisoner of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're a piece of shit. You need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get this, you are not complete. You're a piece of shit if you don't get this. You gotta get this. Go, you are lazy ass. David Goggins.
David Goggins.
I love David Goggins. I'm not against David Goggins. It's great stuff. Yeah, but we are talking about where it can lead you in your life, to the dead end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Firstly, I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing the project Unshyness for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you these questions firstly for myself because it's so elusive for me, this stuff that you introduced me to about this releasing, about this no attachment to the results. I'm sitting right now and my eyes get wet. And it's recently a common thing after you introduced me to this stuff. Yeah, because before I didn't experience this so much, and I'm kind of crying. Like it's sometimes I'm even cry, but I always welcome it because I know like, damn, it touched my soul. There is something about it. I'm release something. I release those attachments to something like, oh, you for being complete, you gotta get this, you gotta get that.
Yeah.
And I release all these things.
That's good that you're letting yourself feel it. If you have never developed a relationship to all of your feelings, then when they come up, they're very frightening. When I feel sad, the first thing that I feel is a little bit of panic, shortness of breath, and a kind of like a heaving of like, I don't know if when heaving is like this. And that's my body unconsciously resisting that energy. Because I know what happens after that is what happens if I don't control it. It'll just fucking come right out. And depending on if you're by yourself, that's one thing. But around people, you're like, I don't want to fucking cry in front of these guys, man. That's fucking, all right? I'm not saying just start crying, but what I'm saying is, how many times have you seen people cry and as they're doing it, they go, oh man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong with me.
What's wrong with me?
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Question.
Oh,
what's wrong with me?
I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's wrong.
Yeah, but we do that for all the emotions. I mean, sadness is a big one. I know anger is a big one for me.
I never shame about my crying.
No? Yeah.
Thank God.
That's good. I think a lot of the work that I've been doing has been developing those relationships with each emotion, understanding what it is, how it feels in my body, and just not making it wrong when it happens. And as I've done that, I've become more sensitive. I know what's happening in each situation. When I talk to people, I'm not confused why all of a sudden like I'll say something like mean. That used to happen a lot, like where I would just be kind of like quiet the whole time, and then I'll just unconsciously say something cruel. Because that whole time, dude, I was like angry and I just couldn't feel it, and I didn't know what it was.
You know that it's kind of not even you.
No, it's not.
It's
not.
It's just your automatic reaction.
Yeah, it's like there's someone else in another room who's controlling me. You know, like just some friend that you have to get to know and say, okay, yeah, this is what you're gonna do. All right, that's fine. That's fine, and you'll be finished in a second, and it'll go away, and we can just be going back to normal life. But yeah,
I'm confused when you're saying that you understand in each situation. You've got this understanding that, okay, this is that emotion or this. Even I don't know this. I don't have this skill. This is what it is. Like. And I've read those books that you recommended, but I remember for the first time when I saw like, oh, this is the graph of emotions, like a chart with the numbers or something. I was like, what the hell is this?
What is Sam giving me, man?
What is it? BS, like.
Yeah.
And after a few months, I see like I'm getting closer. I understand more, but still, some things that you are saying, I was like, what is he talking about sometimes? Because it's not logical stuff. Yeah, you need to work on this to understand it.
Yeah, none of it's logical.
Because I know many listeners, if they are listening to it, they're kind of confused. What is this about? Like, yeah.
Okay, yeah. You keep asking me to. I knew this was gonna come up, and I didn't. I should have tried to. I'm no longer on antidepressants. I had a last meeting with the psychiatrist so he could say, okay, you're good, just stop taking it. And he was like asking me how I was feeling. I was so calm in the conversation. He was like, okay, so you seem like just really peaceful. Like, what have you been doing? Because I wasn't going to therapy anymore. And he just wanted to know what was I doing. I tried to like explain, okay, there's this book, and it's about, the letting go method, and there's like this whole chart, and there's like, apathy, grief, fear, wanting, anger, pride, courage, love, acceptance, peace. And you could guess what his reaction was. He was like, he literally said, whatever works for you.
Psychotherapist.
Yes. He said, whatever works for you. I had no problem with that guy. I don't want to make problems for him. But I was like a little irritated by that response from him. Because it wasn't what he would have done.
Needs to know. Yeah.
He needs to know it was like the pills, or not the pills. With all of the self-help content in the world, that's the only thing that helped for me.
Okay, all this releasing, letting go stuff, why do you think it's not so common to hear this information? Because before you introduced me to this, I hadn't heard about it.
Before I found this technique, what I was working on with the therapists, cognitive behavioral therapy, which is a major, I guess, school of therapy. A lot of therapists use that method to work with their patients. And the types of things I was learning, everything felt very, very checklist. There's acronyms for everything. Okay, if you're anxious, you're going to see 5 things. You're going to hear 4 things. You're going to feel 3 things, taste 2 things, and like, what's one more? I can forget it, but it's like everything's a step. Everything's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, CBT, ACE, acknowledge, connect, engage. Like there's an acronym for everything, and I think it helps a lot of people, but it's only scratching the surface, and it's not really getting deeper, complicated things. And that is what it is. I felt like the Sedona Method, letting go, it was getting into the details of all the things, like why do those things work a lot of the time? What's behind all this? Like in therapy and all these methods you learn, you're talking a lot, but you're never really understanding where all those things are in your body. I think that's what it was. A lot of it's like connecting to your body. That's a big difference for me.
It's very packed. You have answers like this is A, B, D, C, 2, C, like all these acronyms, and our society works this way. But when you are talking about releasing or letting go, this is the reason why it's difficult, because nobody is going to give you an instruction how to do it. They're going to tell you the direction, and you need to go there and to do it by your own.
Yeah. We want the quick fix, and we want the checklist, and we just want the pill that you can take, and that's just not what this was. It's a long, painful process.
But what we got in reality, like where you know, when in life you get the shortcut, and eventually you made the situation even worse, because you squander your time, wasted it, and you kind of realize that, oh, I wanted to do it faster, but it didn't work, and I wasted my time. But when you introduced me to releasing process and technique, I was like, my mind was screaming like it's a bullshit, but I felt with my heart. I already said this. I felt with my heart that this is the thing. I see that there is no answers, like just some directions, like arrows. Okay, approximately you need to go there.
Yeah.
No answers.
No, and that's not, you can't sell that very well.
Even I remember I had a want. I wanted to call you and just scream, not being disrespectful, but just scream.
I remember.
Samuel, just tell me. Yeah. Tell me. Just why don't you want to just tell me in a couple of sentences for me to understand what you understood? What the hell? Just tell me. But I know that this is just my mind, but I know that even if you say this, I won't get it. It's not like a pill, like you handing out the pill, like, okay, swallow.
That book, Letting Go. Mm-hmm. Have you read that book yet?
I have not.
No.
I recommend it, Sedona Method. on the after the first class to Oman?
I remember when I read it for the first time, it's great at like describing of what emotions are, what situations they come up in, different ways of describing the same thing. I think that's actually been really interesting that there's 9 main emotions, and in each emotion there's dozens of different emotions, all sub-emotions, but they all could be categorized in that. And the title of the book is Letting Go, and nowhere in the whole book does he say how to let go.
I was pissed off about it. Remember me asking
Yes,
you,
I
like,
remember.
why this, like, okay, he expressing his, like, oh, just let it go, just let it go, just
Yeah,
how
you're
to
like,
let it go.
What the fuck,
I completed
man?
the book and I didn't see.
Yeah.
Where's the instruction? How to let go?
Yeah, I thought there was pieces missing from the book.
Yeah.
I went online and started like looking up, like, is there workbooks connected to this? I bought them and still
Am I
didn't.
stupid or what?
It still didn't. There is a how to it, very basic, but there's so many different ways of letting go, and I think there needs to be like a sequel to that book. Why that works? Why does letting go work? Like, do you know why?
Let me think about it. Why all this stuff works?
Let me just ask first, do you still feel lost on the process?
I understood the basics and I'm still lost.
Okay. The reason why I think it works and why it's probably different than all the other methods or whatever is because it's the only first you're able to identify what's going on immediately. And when you can do that and experience it in its full capacity in your body, that is the only real way of, I'm air quoting here, getting over something. When people tell you to get over it, I don't know what the expression is in Russian. When you say get over it, it means push it down. Don't let it affect you. Don't let it affect me. Ignore. Exactly. That only works in the exact moment that you're doing it. And it fucks you for the rest of your life. This is doing the opposite. Saying, okay, you're feeling sad. Great, there's nothing wrong with that. There's just an experience you're having right now. Can you feel it as much as you can? Can it like feel it from head to toe being sad?
Even just to try to do this is unusual, yeah?
Yeah. Well, we're sitting in this weird room and I'm like just talking very softly and there's someone watching. Yeah, it's weird.
I feel wanting and anger.
So let yourself feel angry at the fact that I'm asking you to do something and you can't do it.
I want to get it now.
Yeah. If I wasn't encouraging you to feel those things right now, this whole interaction would be fucked up. We'd be talking, you'd be nodding your head, but inside you'd be like, fuck this. I don't want to be here. Right? When we can experience the frustration or the sadness or the shame or whatever the fuck it is, and don't make it wrong, it's like boiling water until it becomes steam, and eventually it just evaporates. And that's the hardest part because it takes time. Letting go is about feeling the thing until it just kind of evaporates.
And the key moment is to feel.
Yeah.
Not to ignore, not to run away.
Not to run away, not to make it wrong.
To welcome.
Yeah. But I release all day now. And it's really helped me, man. I just feel so much more even now. I don't have days where I'm like, wake up happy, wake up sad.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like nice and even. And things that used to really upset me, it never has to get to that point because I feel things early on and I just kind of...
You kind of got this skill of letting go.
I'm getting better every day, yeah.
So when I started, I applied my self-discipline, like, okay, 15 minutes a day, 2 times by 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And
do I do it like that, you're asking?
yes.
No.
Because...
But not because of... I tried that, And for some reason, it doesn't work.
Yes, and for me also, and that is why I stopped doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out how to.
It's like trying to schedule masturbating.
Yeah, yes.
Can you imagine? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why that analogy just came up.
But my mind's even tell me, you are lazy shit.
Yeah.
You wanna get this releasing stuff. You wanna get something happen. You know this work. Okay, let's schedule this every freaking day. Like, it doesn't work.
No. What's like one story you would like to release on, or one emotion?
I have a lot of hate to myself. And I'm really, when I'm trying to release it, I'm so surprised that there is no bottom.
Yeah. Well,
I'm really surprised about it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, look at this, Marcel, like, and all my clients and participants of the project and followers, like, look at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's so happy, he's so confident, he's doing it so easy for him, like, and so he's, like, his life is like paradise, emotional paradise. But it's not true, and sometimes I feel like I'm imposter about it. Because really I have a lot of hate to myself, and I found out about it recently. And sometimes my mind just tells me, this is all bullshit, you're a cool guy, this is all bullshit, this releasing, like, letting go, like David Goggins stuff. Schedule. You need to wake up at 4 a.m. Film 500 people a day. Do 300 podcasts a week. And it's like a war in my mind, like with these two different mindsets. Like when you just live your life, be happy, everything is okay, you are not broken, chill, do what you like, love people around, love yourself, like be so grateful, and other stuff like, hey, you're a piece of shit, why are you sitting here, you haven't been productive enough today. Why did you wake up so late? Can you imagine how much things you could have done if you were not a lazy ass? And this is it's literally like, sometimes I'm asking myself, am I going crazy? Like one day, okay, yes, yeah, let's go. Like I need to do, but motivation because I feel like a piece of shit. And other mindset, okay, like chill, you're not broken, everything's okay. And I'm like, wow, interesting. And all of this inside of me. I'm still figuring it out for myself.
Can you be okay with being broken? Do you think it's true? Do you feel it's true?
It's not true. It's not true.
No.
I'm already laughing about it.
I feel like
everything is so simple and so complicated at the same time.
You think you could let yourself feel like a piece of shit and not make it wrong?
can.
You can?
I can't.
You cannot. Okay.
I am embarrassed about. Look at this. People around me can think that I'm embarrassed about that I don't meet my standards. Like I know that I can do so much more than I do. Like, and my mind embarrasses me. It's you don't do enough. It's craving in my chest. And I even wanna scream at you. Like, don't you understand? Like, you are trying to console me, right? It's all bullshit. I wanna scream it. It's all bullshit. You're David Goggins.
Well, do
Let's
it.
go.
Do it.
Waking up at 3 a.m. 2:30. Cold shower with ice.
I'm your friend. I'm not your therapist.
Yeah.
No. What I mean is, I know you're gonna work with Brian. He's gonna take you through all kinds of shit. But what my prediction is that he's gonna say, and what was kind of what we're talking about here, is if you can't let yourself feel like a piece of shit, it'll always be there. If you can't accept the feeling of feeling like being a piece of shit is just a story, but the feeling is attached to that. If you can't feel that sadness, then it's gonna be very hard to let it go. All the wanting and the pushing and anger is just so you don't have to experience the sadness.
You told me that you had been going to jiu-jitsu classes for
Yeah.
years.
Right.
You were dedicated, you were obsessed. Tell me, in any case, was this thing a way for you to run out from your feelings?
I've had a lot of forms of distraction in my life, but I would say that no, I was not using that as a way of not feeling certain feelings. The way I used to not feel certain feelings of apathy, grief and fear, was eating. A lot of times when I feel anxious, I eat. Social media, YouTube, whatever, videos, scrolling, that was a big one. Video games. I used to play a lot of video games.
The favorite one?
Favorite one? Spider-Man 2.
Oh, no, really?
Fucking bad. Man, that shit is so cool. I used to drink. I also noticed as I became more like in tune with my body, when I would feel stress, I always wondered why I would jerk off at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you know why that is? Because all the time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon is when I was working, like getting really into work. And I would get overwhelmed with all the work, and I'd be like, all right, I need a break. That was a way of distracting myself. And I think going out and dating was a huge one. When I could put my focus on a woman, I didn't have to really look inside and like feel shitty like I would.
Interesting.
It was, it's all just form of self-medication, of distraction, of soothing difficult emotions. Jiu-jitsu wasn't that. I really enjoyed that. But what actually ended up happening with jiu-jitsu was I started doing it because I actually enjoyed it. And it was very stimulating to me. For the mind, the body, it was fun. I've always really wanted to learn how to grapple. What it ended up happening was it became a thing of I would only show up because of shame. I would feel like I was going to be so behind that I would go. Like, I didn't want to be behind. I didn't want to fall behind in class. I didn't want to miss a move that they were learning that week. I didn't want everyone to know, like, that I was just off doing something else. So I would go. I would be, like, very disciplined. Like, show up Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, or something like that. And it got to a point where I didn't enjoy it because of that. Because it was always associated with shame. So all this pain surrounded, like, associated with something that's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fucking fun. I'm not trying to be a professional jiu-jitsu guy, you know? But I took that mindset of push, avoiding what's actually happening and just turning everything into, like, work, you know? Heavy shit.
Having fun is the key.
Having fun is the key, yes.
And it's so simple. If you do something and you're not having fun, something maybe, I don't say it's wrong. Maybe you need to question this.
Everything is easier when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Everything, you could do whatever you want and not have fun, but when you feel good and enjoy yourself, it's not work. It's just light. It's like
it's nothing.
You're like skating.
We are doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we are walking.
No, man.
we are just hanging out.
Just talking.
Yeah. And when I do my classes, I don't think about it. I'm kind of walking or something. What are you talking about? Like, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
That is why it's so cool.
I said to Aman, he said, I don't feel warmed up to do this. I'm not ready. And I said, what is warming up?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
What is it? Warming up is a way to get in a better mood. Warming up like when you're for physically exercising is like you're putting blood into your body, right? We're not warming up our vocal cords. Maybe you are, but you're not. That's not what it is. Warming up for what you teach is just slowly getting into a better mood. You don't just jump off and go into the subway and start doing a zombie lion, right? Because you're not ready for that yet. The warm-up is, okay, I'm afraid. I'm here in this class. I'm afraid. I want to get better with people, but I'm afraid. Okay. How can they do these exercises? Putting them into enough tension that they can slowly start to feel more relaxed, lighter energy. That's it. That's why when I left your class, every fucking week, I wanted to go talk to more people. Because I had got to a place where I was just like, just fucking in love with life, man. I'd leave, I'd be like, I'm not going home. I swear to God, I would not go home because I felt so good that I didn't want it to stop. I would go into bars. I'd walk from wherever, Union Square, wherever the fuck we were, and I would walk downtown, and I would find a bar, and I would just go fucking talk to people. I'd talk to the bartender. I'd be like, please talk to me because I got all this like good feeling and I want to give it to people. That, when you feel like that, nothing can stop you. Nothing is an obligation. You can do anything because you just feel so good.
And any outcome of your nights is
Doesn't
going
matter.
to be perfect.
Yeah.
Remember I told you?
Yeah. So, having fun, feeling good, you need those things before you can...
Having fun is the key. So, thank you,
Yeah, bro.
Samuel. It was fun.
Whoop!
2 hours.
Oh, man, I've never talked that long in my life.